Most people believe they have a motivation problem or an energy problem or a time problem. They don't. They have a discipline problem. And discipline is based on what you believe. No one seems to be able to tell you what it is or how it works or anything like that. They just tell you that you need it. So that's what I'm going to do today is I'm going to tell you what it is and how it works and how it can make your life super easy. My name is Scott Wilkinson. This is Foundations of Character. I am a Christian, a father, and a martial arts instructor. I taught martial arts, or I've been teaching martial arts for 30 years, and parents kept coming into my school saying, my kid needs discipline. I hear martial arts is good for discipline. And so upon research, I found out that no parents knew what that word meant. They thought they knew, but they didn't. So I did a deep dive to figure out what all of these words associated with martial arts were, what they meant, and how I could put them in my program. So first, we have to define discipline. The original intent of discipline was to be taught or to learn. I even simplified it to mean a way of doing something. Think about it. What are you being taught, or what are you learning? You're being taught something. A way of doing so, a way to do something. And think about this. There are martial arts schools, dance schools, gymnastics schools. They're all telling you their way is correct. So if that's true, then discipline is based on their belief that their way is correct. So that's where I get the definition. Now, stay with me. If discipline is tied to belief, we have to define what a belief is. A belief is a statement that is accepted as true. I have notes, so I'm probably going to mangle this, but there was no other way to do this. Discipline can't exist without a belief. And that's why change is so hard for people. They're mixing up words. They're mixing up motivation and discipline. Those are not the same thing. Motivation never lasts. Discipline lasts because it is actually a definition of what you're going to do, and I'll explain how it works. But the lack of energy that you feel sometimes, it's because of that constant battle between what you know you should do and what you actually do. Like, you know you should go to church, go to the gym, eat right, but then you don't do that, right? And there's a battle. So you eat the donut, and then you're like, I shouldn't have ate that donut. Next time I'm going to do better. And then you're like, I know I'm not going to do better next time either. And you just have this constant battle in you. So it just sucks the life out of you. And that's why people feel stuck. Discipline works because it represents a decision that has already been made. You don't decide in the moment. You decide earlier what you believe, who you are, and how you act. So when the moment comes, discipline doesn't take any effort. It's when your behavior aligns with what you believe. And the logic flows like this. I'm going to give you a quick definition, or I call it a thought string. But it goes belief, identity, standards, discipline, behavior, and outcome. So discipline is number 4 in the process to actually have discipline or be disciplined. So by the time temptation shows up, the decision is already over. It's already been made. You just have to live it out. You have to survive the encounter, so to speak. Now, I could walk you through how to change your beliefs, and I may do that in a later video. But instead of telling you how to change your beliefs, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to explain to you what I believe, well, some of what I believe, and what my beliefs, the issues that my beliefs remove from my life to make it way easier. When beliefs are defined and discipline stops being stressful, everything kind of becomes automatic. So here they are, and I have 20 of them. This is going to take a minute. Belief number 1 is people will always let you down. They're eventually going to let you down. I don't know if you've experienced this, but I have experienced this. People just do people things. They can't help themselves. So I just put that in my equation when I'm doing anything and go, I already know how they're going to act, respond, or what they're going to do, likely to do. And I put that in my equation, so I'm like not disappointed. But they're not necessarily evil, they're just human. So I do give people patience and I give them grace because, like I said, I already take into consideration they're going to do people things. But I don't put my trust or my identity in people. I look at people for what they are and not what I want them to be. The way I say it in my head is part of some of the shorts that I've done is, I don't work for you. I work for God. That belief removes resentment and bitterness, and it removes the need for approval from other people. It lets me serve people without needing anything from them. I don't need applause or attaboys, or because I'm not working for them. What I would like is an attaboy or a good job from God, but I don't require that from people. So you could see how that would remove some stress and anxiety from me, or from you too, if you had that same belief. Anyway, belief number 2 is sacrifice is the law. You have to give up something to get something. I don't know if you notice this too, but if you want to get in better shape, you're going to have to give up donuts. I mean, you're going to have to give up the TV or something so you can have something else. Nothing is free. Every improvement costs you something. Every gain costs you something. And that's not a motivational quote. That is a law. I'm just accepting the system that God set up. It is a sacrificial system. So I don't feel cheated by sacrifice. I expect it. This belief removes entitlement or surprise or negotiation. And I may have to walk away from friends or family or change jobs, move to a different community. I may have to switch churches. And as previously stated in belief number 1, I don't really work for any of those people, so no big deal. I don't care. Even fitness is a sacrifice. You have to give up things that you love to eat. Apparently, anything that we love to eat is not good for us, unless you love to eat strawberries or, lettuce. Those are things that God made. So change always costs something, and I have already agreed to pay whatever it costs. Doesn't matter to me. Now, belief number 3 is discomfort is required. In order to get what I want, I'm going to have to do things that I don't want to do to get it. I already know that. Everything worth having requires discomfort. So I tell myself this: suck it up and don't be the weak one. Some people think that when discomfort shows up, something is wrong, but it's not. When I'm uncomfortable, it's kind of a compass. My belief, it lets me know that I'm on the right path. This belief removes the idea that things are going to be easy, peaceful, or smooth. So I don't panic. I also don't pay attention to how I feel while I'm headed towards the light at the end of the tunnel. I just keep going without expectation of comfort. Belief number 4, desire is dangerous. The premise behind this and how I say it in my head is I don't want a lot of things. I don't have a desire to chase things. So most people aren't tired because life is hard. They're tired because they want too many things. Big house, big car, lots of stuff. All of that costs money. Where do you get money? A job. So you get all those things and now you're a slave to your job and you can't really enjoy any of the things that you have. So more desires means more decisions means more stress. I just simplify desire. I want less, and that creates freedom, and I require freedom. And besides, people conflate needs with wants. I just remove the stress of it I just don't want a lot of things. Belief number 5, expectation creates disappointment. The way I say it in my head is expectation is the mother of disappointment. I don't expect outcomes. I expect effort. And the moment that you expect a specific result, you tie your peace to something that you can't control. So many times I have set a goal and I'm very specific. I wrote it out just like you're supposed to. And I'll get close to that, but not exactly that thing. And back a long time ago, it would be disappointing because it was it was like a lateral shift from what I wanted. It was close. And I just got to where I would be like, I'm going to stop expecting the outcome and accept whatever the outcome is and keep my peace. So I do everything I possibly can to the best of my ability, and whatever comes of it, I'm okay with it. This belief keeps me steady even when results take time or they don't work out exactly like I planned. They get close to how I planned. Belief number 6, fatherhood is non-negotiable. My kids belong to God. They don't belong to me. I'm just the steward or the shepherd, and He trusts me to take care of them. I can fail at business. I can mess up projects. I can fail at anything else, but I will not fail as a dad. That belief sets my priorities without debate. So if I'm presented with a choice between worldly things or something that will affect the development of my kids, the world can kiss my ass. I'm going to make sure that I take care of my kids. Belief number 7 is marriage is alignment, moving in the same direction. So if both husband and wife follow Christ, we can work through anything. And again, marriage doesn't work because people are perfect. People are going to do people things. Your husband's going to do people things. Your wife is going to do people things. You don't have to look very far to figure out what people things are. But it works better when both people submit to something higher than themselves. Two imperfect people aligned with Christ can work through anything. Again, you're just people doing people stuff. People are going to mess up. It's what they do. If you want to put faith in people, then one of the things I used to tell my students is, I believe in you. I totally believe that you're going to mess this up. It was a joke, but there's a lot of truth to that joke. But anyway, if you want some grace, you're going to have to give some grace. Ultimately, the wife, God's problem. And from her perspective, you should also be God's problem. And y'all are still going to work through things and work things out, but God has to be the center. Number 8, health is not emotional or seasonal or a New Year's resolution. Exercise is just part of my day, is how I say it in my head. I don't decide whether I'm going to exercise or not. I just do it because it's part of my day. It's like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, going to work. It removes the emotion and accepting exercise as just part of the day. It removes all the excuses. So it's no different than, like I said, eating or just doing regular stuff. It's not something that I would like to do or that I should do. It's something that I just do. Belief number 9, your diet should be simple. In my head, the way I say it is, I'm only going to eat what God made. God made lettuce and tomatoes and cantaloupe and watermelon and cows, deer. God made those things. It's okay for me to eat those things. But if it's been engineered in a factory or man has anything to do with it, it's probably going to hurt me in some way in the future. So I'm going to try my best not to eat it. Now, do I do that 100% of the time? No. But my commitment is to eating only the things that God Himself made, not that man had anything to do with. And if I can't decide what I'm going to eat, or if I don't have access to that stuff, then I just don't eat. I will view it as a fasting exercise. I'll be like, well, I'm not going to eat. If it's just so hard of a decision, I'm just going to let it go. I just won't eat until I am either I can get something that God made, or that I'll just turn it into a fasting exercise. I lost my train of thought with that. Belief number 10, attitude is a decision. I wake up every day with a good attitude. I don't wait for feelings or even ask myself, how do I feel today? I actually don't care how I feel. I care that I woke up. And apparently, God wants me to one more time go out there to the world and be a light for someone else. So I choose my posture before the day starts. I believe that puts me in control before I allow anything to bother me. There's no reason for anything to bother me. I just wake up with a good attitude, God blessed me with another day so I can go out there and do good stuff. Belief number 11, gratitude is super important. I hunt for things to be grateful for. I don't wait for gratitude or something big to happen for me to be grateful. Like I have to get this job before I'll be grateful, or I have to accomplish this thing or do this thing before I can be grateful. I search for it. I'm grateful for trees, grass, and I take a moment to look at that stuff. I'm thankful for my dog. I'm thankful that I have a shelter and warmth and food and a car to drive. I have friends. There's lots to be thankful for. I don't need to be thankful or grateful for the big things. I'll be thankful for or grateful for every little thing that I could possibly think of. And I do it all day. Even if things are challenging, I do it on purpose all the time. That belief changes my experiences of life without changing circumstances. Even if something challenging happens, I look at it like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to learn something new or to grow in some way. I have that attitude and that gratitude, and I thank God for it. I thank God for it. This is an opportunity for me to do this, or this is an opportunity to thank you, God. And it's little things. It could be picking up a piece of paper off the ground. So anyway, belief number 12, God is present all the time. And how I say it in my head is I talk to God all day. God doesn't need an appointment. Like when I was a kid, we prayed before we went to bed. We prayed before every meal. But he's my constant reference point. He's always there. I'm always talking to him. When I'm driving down the road, sitting on the couch, always. I include him in everything that I do, everything that I think. This belief removes loneliness. It removes anxiety because I'm never alone when I make decisions. I don't have to feel alone. Or sometimes when I'm making a decision, I'm like, I don't know which one I'm supposed to do. You're not really talking to me that much. My personality is trained to do this thing, so I'm going to do this thing, and we'll see how it turns out, and I'll adjust accordingly. So even in all of my decisions, I keep a consideration of God in there. Belief number 13, I love to learn. Do not go to sleep without being able to state something that you learned. I learned this as a kid. I spent the night with my cousin at his grandparents' house, and I had my pallet on the floor. He had his pallet, or he was laying on the couch. The granddad came in there and he goes, "Hey, what did you learn today?" And I was taken back, and my cousin's name was Josh, and he goes, "Nothing." So his granddad went to the shelf and grabbed an encyclopedia, and he opened it up, and he goes, "Do you know what a centillion is?" And we were like, "No." He goes, "A centillion is a 1 with 100 zeros behind it. Now you've learned something. Now you can go to bed." And I was like, that was so profound to me. I was probably like 10 or 11 or 12 years old, somewhere around in there. But I love to learn. Now here's my thinking on this. If God made me for a purpose and I'm supposed to live that purpose, then I am required to get better. If you want to give your kids one of the greatest gifts you can, develop in them a love for learning. Screens can't do that. Books can, but screens cannot do that. Books force you to use your imagination to see the pictures or images that an author is describing. Screens give it to them. They don't have to use their imagination. And all of the greatest inventions came from imagination. So every night I ask myself, what did I learn today? And that belief keeps me improving so I can stay on purpose for whatever God created me for, which I know and we'll probably get into later. Belief number 14, useless knowledge is just noise. If I can't use it, I don't need it. Not all information is wisdom, so I hunt for profound knowledge. Profound knowledge is knowledge that you can put to use immediately. You don't have to wait on it. You don't have to look things up. You just start doing it. Like I love to learn thing. When the granddad came in there and said, "What did you learn today?" I have used that ever since, and I have loved learning ever since then. But this belief in useless knowledge, it protects my focus. And I view it like this, is that knowledge that you can't use immediately is called trivia. It's pointless for you to know it. Why would you cared, what the population of Zambia is. You can't use that in your job or anything like that, so delete. Belief number 15, I am a teacher. And I believe it's more important to teach a man a fish than to give a man a fish. I don't rescue people. That's not my job. My job is to serve God, and I help people, but I'm not going to rescue them. I am not a savior. I'll help them build skill. And that belief produces strength and independence, and it's my main identity statement. Belief number 16, risk creates growth. The way I say it in my head is facing your mortality frees you. Now, remember that one day you're going to die. Maybe today, who knows? But knowing that and being aware of that all the time liberates you from fear. And that's why I'm a Christian. I could be taken at any moment. We have no idea when we're going to experience soul and body separation, so I'm prepared. I don't want to live forever on this planet anyway. People are mean. But being comfortable all the time, steals your life. Risk, it expands it. And that's where growth lives. So go skydiving. I did. I went skydiving and bungee jumping. And although I don't think I was actually facing my mortality, it felt like I was at the time. Anyway, belief number 17, be right with God. So that I'm never afraid to die. Fear controls undisciplined people. And if you think about it, fear is the only thing that really separates any of us from each other. It's the most powerful demon, and that demon has stolen the talent and gifts of so many genius level people. But peace internally, especially with God, produces courage, and this belief removes fear. I'm going to be right with God. I don't care if I die today. You can take me at any time. I have lived every day, done my very best to represent you, so whatever. Belief number 18, stand for what's right. Now, in my head, the way that I say this is if I'm going to get in trouble, I'm going to get in trouble doing the right thing. And in this day and time, it's super easy to get in trouble doing the right thing. So I don't really chase safety. I chase righteous action, and I'm not going to be afraid to get in trouble for it. I actually think it's kind of fun and kind of cool. And I'm a martial arts guy, and I know people are going to do one of two things. They're either going to wag their finger at you or they're going to throw a punch at you. And I can handle either. So I don't care what they do. This belief makes decisions simple. Belief number 19, I am curious about how awesome I can be. I learned early on that actually arriving at a goal or a destination is sort of depressing, right? You do so much work to hit a number or get a thing that when you actually hit it or get it, it feels like it's over, like you lost something, but you didn't. You gained something, but it's really weird. So I changed my perspective on goals from something to accomplish, and I changed it to more of a road marker to let me know that I'm on task. But the journey never really ends because there is no destination. There's only a direction that I'm headed. In my mind, it goes like this. I wonder if I can do that. I must try, and then I go do that. So I think, well, I wonder if I can do this other thing. Well, if I can do that, then can I do this? Can I do that? Can I do this? And it just keeps going on, and there's no end to it. So there's no destination I'm going for, because actually hitting the number, hitting the goal, getting the thing, it is very depressing to me. So I just try not to ever reach the destination. And belief number 20 is I embrace the suck. Now in fighting, it's where it's something that normal people call suffering or pain or discomfort, but fighters kind of like it. They're curious about pain and suffering. Not everyone likes it. And as a coach, I have to help students through the suck. And the suck actually represents being on the cutting edge of your personal evolution. But it sucks. So being in a constant state of journey, like from belief number 19, it leads to uncertainty, self-doubt, anxiety, and I just embrace all of it as a way to learn about my internal why. My internal why. What I do know is that if you make it through the suck, you come out the other side way stronger than when you went in. So I expect things to suck. You embrace it. It removes the idea that things are ever going to be easy. Everything is hard, and I expect nothing less. And the keystone belief and how discipline actually helps you is discipline is a way of doing something, and defining your beliefs is defining how you will do things. I can put it in a logic string for you like this, and I mentioned it at the beginning of the video. It goes like this: decide what you believe to be true. Then your belief creates who you are. That's your identity. Once you know who you are, you set standards for how you're going to operate and function. And discipline is the way you are going to operate and function. And behavior is what you actually do. And what you do is your outcome. But that's how discipline is supposed to work. It starts with clearly defining what it is that you believe. Because my beliefs are defined, my decisions are already made. So living my beliefs requires no stress and very little thought. There's nothing to negotiate and nothing to reopen. It's already been hashed out in my mind. So making choices and doing things in alignment with what I believe is easy. Even if people don't like it. There are like 340 million Americans, and if these people don't like it, I'll find some that do. So anyway, that freedom lets me move forward, and I think it'll help you too if you understood why in my shorts, I'm telling you that belief is what guides discipline. And if you don't have a belief about something, then you won't feel like you're disciplined. You won't be able to, you're dependent on motivation rather than discipline. Because discipline is a little bit more deeper than what people think. So I'm not telling you what to believe, but if discipline feels exhausting, if motivation keeps failing, if life feels heavy, it may not be because you're weak. It may be because you're unclear about what it is you believe, or you're swayed by the people around you, or your job, or the news, or culture, or something like that. That's what makes things feel hard. Not necessarily that you're weak, you just haven't clearly defined it. And to be honest with you, I've talked to people about this for years. They don't really, it boggles my mind that people don't want to sit down and define what they believe, because there's a sense of finality to defining what it is that you believe. Like, I know if I believe this, then I can't hang out with those people anymore, but I really want to hang out with those people. So, you know what? I just won't talk about what I believe, and you see what I'm saying? I'm like, no, I'm not going to hang out with those people. I'm going to do what I believe and everything, because that's a bigger calling than people. Anyway, define your beliefs. Don't be vague. Don't be emotional. Define them clearly. Once your beliefs are clear, discipline stops being hard and it just flows everywhere. It becomes inevitable. So does success. Whatever it is that you want, it becomes so easy because you know what you believe. That means the decision's already been. You know how you're going to operate. The decision's already been made. You just have to survive the encounter and live out the thing. And be willing to walk away from whatever you need to walk away from to live out what you believe. And anxiety and depression and things like that kind of disappear. But if this helped you think differently about discipline, subscribe and share this with somebody who keeps trying harder but going nowhere. See you soon.